Welcome to Global News on Signature TV. I'm Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha. In the headlines, Enugu boosts security with DNA forensics facility. Court imposes death penalty on 3 persons for terrorism. At least 32 dead and over 700 injured as twin quakes hit Venezuela. And UN nuclear chief says inspectors will visit Iran sites as part of war deal. Details in a moment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
The Senate has passed a bill seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution to provide for the establishment of state police services across the Federation. The legislation replaces the existing Nigeria police framework with a dual structure comprising a federal police service and a state police service. The bill was considered after Senate Leader Opeyemi Bamidele presented its general principles, which subsequently scaled second reading before being considered clause by clause and eventual passage after more than 2/3 of senators voted in support. A key provision of the bill empowers state governors to appoint commissioners of police for their respective states, subject to confirmation by the state houses of assembly. The bill also defines the operational relationship between governors and state police commands and provides that a governor may issue lawful written directives of a general policy nature to the Commissioner of Police on matters relating to the maintenance of public safety and public order within the state. To allay fears of possible abuse of the proposed policing structure, the law specifically states that a state commissioner of police shall not arrest, detain, investigate or deploy force against any person, political party or group merely for criticizing the government, except in accordance with the law. Enugu State has taken another major step in strengthening its security architecture with the commissioning of the Center for DNA Forensics and Criminal Investigation, a state-of-the-art facility established through a partnership between the Enugu State Government, Godfrey Okoye University, and the Nigeria DNA Learning Center. The facility, which is located within the Godfrey Okoye University at Ugwomo, is to provide advanced forensic services for criminal investigations, scientific research, and professional training, as well as strengthen the administration of justice by providing credible scientific evidence for law enforcement agencies, prosecutors, and the courts. Speaking during the commissioning ceremony, Governor Peter Mbah described the center as one of the most strategic investments in the state's security architecture, noting that while crime has reduced significantly in Enugu, the government remains committed to deploying innovative solutions to sustain peace and security. The governor explained that the center would enhance the state's capacity to investigate crimes, identify offenders, and support law enforcement agencies with world-class forensic science.
Why we are here today. This center represents one of the most important investments we have made in our security architecture. It strengthens our ability to investigate crime, track criminals, support the work of law enforcement and ensure that those who threaten the peace of our communities have fewer and fewer places to hide. But it represents something else as well. It represents the kind of thinking that is shaping the future of Enugu. A willingness to embrace technology, to embrace science, to embrace innovation, to build capability rather than wait for it. For too long, many people assumed that facilities of this standard.
Governor Mba also urged residents to preserve crime scenes and promptly alert security agencies whenever criminal incidents occur, stressing that forensic evidence such as fingerprints, footprints, hair strands, blood samples, and other biological traces are crucial for successful investigations. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, the Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, and the Vice Chancellor of Godfrey Okoye University, Professor Christian Anyeke, all lauded Governor Mba's strides in the security sector, describing the center as a major contribution to national security and the justice system. A high court sitting in Sokoto State has sentenced 3 men, including a foreign national, to death by hanging, following their conviction on charges bordering on terrorism and arms proliferation. The convicts, Yusuf Muhammad alias Salau, a Nigerian, Jabi Alhaji Yali and Kabiru Muhammad, were apprehended on 13th June 2025 by the Counter-Terrorism Unit of the Department of State Services in connection with cross-border criminal activities bordering on arms trafficking. Delivering judgment, the presiding judge, Justice Muhammad Bello, found all 3 defendants guilty as charged and sentenced them to death by hanging. The court also ordered the forfeiture of all monetary exhibits recovered from the convicts to the federal government. The conviction is the latest in a series of successful prosecutions by the DSS in its sustained operations against terrorism and organized cross-border criminal networks across Nigeria. The Christian Association of Nigeria in Oyo State has directed churches in the state to suspend late-night activities and fence their premises in a bid to beef up security. The directive was contained in a communique issued in Ibadan on Wednesday and jointly signed by Elisha Ogundiya, chairman of Oyo Kan, and Samuel Owolabi, secretary. The association further advised churches not fenced and gated to see it as their next project. The body also enjoined church leaders, as a matter of urgency, to man their premises with trained security personnel, especially during services. It also advised every church to conduct a private security assessment of those employed as guards and other personnel on essential services, and to stop allowing strangers to sleep in their sanctuary and church premises. Still to come, Philippines bans video game played by alleged high school shooter. Trump asks Congress for $87 billion for urgent Iran war costs. Details shortly.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.
Kenyan prosecutors say they are preparing to charge several students with the murder of their schoolmates following a suspected school arson attack last month. 16 pupils aged between 15 and 18 died, and dozens more were injured when a fire broke out in a dormitory at Utumishi Girls' School in Gilgil, about 120 kilometers northwest of the capital, Nairobi. 8 students were later arrested after police said they may have been involved in starting the fire by setting mattresses alight near an exit. The 28th May fire tore through the upper floor of a dormitory containing 135 bunk beds and housing 202 students, forcing them to flee through a single doorway after the emergency exit failed to open. After interviews with students and staff and a forensic review of CCTV footage, 8 pupils at the school were identified as persons of interest in connection with the planning and execution of the fire. Education Minister Julius Ogamba said preliminary findings indicated that there had been multiple breaches of safety measures at Utumishi Girls' School, including overcrowding in dormitories and a locked exit door. The Philippines has temporarily blocked gaming app Gorebox after an initial investigation found that a teenage suspect in a rare school shooting had been playing the game. 3 students were killed and 20 others wounded after 2 suspects aged 15 and 14 allegedly fired handguns inside a classroom in Tacloban, Middle East of Manila, on Monday. Police said the 14-year-old was a player of Gorebox, a game where players can obliterate anything they desire and engage in brutal combat with an extensive arsenal of weapons and explosives. The country's cybersecurity agency said that temporarily blocking the game will allow authorities to conduct a thorough assessment into whether the platform played any role in the actions of the suspects. Gorebox is a first-person shooter video game that can be played as solo or online multiplayer and was given an R18 rating by the International Age Rating Coalition due to extremely violent, explicit, and unrestricted gameplay. Powerful twin earthquakes have killed 32 people and injured more than 700 in Venezuela after massive shocks collapsed entire buildings and sent people running in panic. According to the United States Geological Survey, the earthquakes of magnitude 7.2 and 7.5 struck the same area of Venezuela on Wednesday, causing buildings in the capital to crumble and forcing the closure of the country's main airport. Addressing the nation early Thursday, the interim president, Delcy Rodriguez, said she does not yet have data on the hardest hit region of La Guaira, located near the capital. Rodriguez earlier said 20 aftershocks had followed the twin earthquakes. US President Donald Trump said late Wednesday that the 2 major earthquakes are both massive in scale and have left a devastating number of deaths. Trump said the US stands ready, willing, and able to help, and that he has instructed all agencies of the government to get ready to move quickly. Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello asked people to leave their homes, adding that gas supplies had been cut to several buildings as a precaution. The White House has asked lawmakers to approve $87.6 billion for urgent needs connected with the U.S. war on Iran, a day after Congress passed a resolution rebuking the military action. $67 billion of the amount is for the Defense Department, including $21 billion for munitions, $17.3 billion for operational costs, and $12.1 billion for classified programs. The White House Office of Management and Budget sent the formal request for the funds on Wednesday in a letter to House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson. The request includes about $300 million to bolster security at U.S. embassies and diplomatic outposts in the Middle East and South Asia, after some of them came under attack earlier in the war. The proposal faces an uphill battle in Congress, as the Iran conflict is unpopular with voters and midterm elections loom this November. Washington and Tehran are currently observing a ceasefire, but the White House Budget Office letter notes that the Pentagon needs to rebuild stocks after its military strikes. The head of the global nuclear watchdog says it will carry out inspections in Iran under the country's preliminary peace agreement with the United States. The Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, told reporters in Japan that the inspections will indeed take place and that the modalities about dates, procedures, places are being worked out. He added that the agreement signed last week said explicitly that the dilution of Iran's highly enriched uranium would be carried out under IAEA supervision. However, Iran's deputy foreign minister said access to its damaged nuclear facilities and nuclear material would only be addressed within the framework of a final deal with the US. Grossi's comments came as US Secretary of State Marco Rubio met UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan before traveling to Kuwait and Bahrain to discuss the deal. Speaking in Kuwait City, Rubio said the US would not agree anything with Iran that would undermine the security of US allies in the region. Now some sports stories. We start with golf. Enthusiasts from across the country converged at the Enugu Sports Club for the Governor Peter Mbah Pro Amateur Golf Tournament, organized as part of activities marking the governor's 3rd anniversary in office. The tournament brought together professional and amateur golfers in a celebration of leadership, sporting excellence, and the growing potential of sports tourism in Enugu State. Christopher Lele reports.
The large greens of the Enugu Sports Club came alive as golfers teed off in the Governor Peter Mbah Pro Am Tournament, a flagship event marking 3 years of the Mbah administration. In a ceremonial opening drive, the executive chairman of the Enugu Sports Club, Barrister Ifeanyi Nweke, officially signaled the commencement of play for the professionals. He described the tournament as more than a sporting contest, saying it reflects excellence, leadership, friendship, and the unifying spirit of golf.
The game here we're standing here is golf section or golf course, the section of Enugu Sports Club. And today, in fact, we started on Monday with our press conference. Then today, Wednesday, the professionals, golfers, I just did a tee-off for them to commence their own competition.
The tournament director and national director of competitions of the Professional Golfers Association of Nigeria, John Paul Dangofa, applauded improvements made to the course and playing facilities. He urged the Enugu state government to deepen investment in golf, noting that the sport offers significant economic tourism and career opportunities.
It is indeed a great pleasure to be here to honor the governor and to also encourage the game of golf in this part of Nigeria. As you can see, we are from different clubs in Nigeria, and we have come to Enugu to enjoy the hospitality. So far, so good. The committee has put in their best, and we must commend them, especially on the golf course. I would like to seize this opportunity to appeal to the state government to partner with the committee taking care of this golf course, to invest in golf.
Vice Chairman of the Caretaker Committee of the Golf Section, George Akwada, highlighted the passion and commitment of golfers to the game. He noted that Governor Peter Mbah's enthusiasm for golf has helped position the tournament as a platform for tourism promotion and sporting development.
This is meant to launching the governor's third year in office. He is a great golfer as well, so this is another way of trying to tie it with tourism. The tourism potential in golfing is superb, and then the governor is quite passionate about golf, and then just like us, we are here as well. And so the only linkage to it is that it's something that is designed to launch him into his third year going forward in government, yes.
One of the organizers and member of the club, Amechi Onowu, commended golfers, sponsors and committee members for the teamwork and dedication, describing the tournament as a collective success driven by shared commitment to the growth of the sport.
It's been wonderful. I think there's a big change this time around. We got everybody's support from the main club, the members, and the work done was a collective work by everybody. And I expect after these 5 days, it's going to be a successful one.
As professionals battle for honors and amateurs test their skills on the fairways, stakeholders said the tournament is steadily carving out a place for Enugu on Nigeria's golfing map, while advancing the state's vision for sports tourism and economic development. In Enugu, Christopher Lele, Signature TV News.
The champions of the next season of the Nigeria Premier Football League (NPFL) will receive a minimum prize money of 1 billion naira, up from the previous amount of 200 million naira. The chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, announced the new prize money in Abuja after a meeting with top officials of the Nigeria Football Federation. The runners-up will receive 500 million naira, while the third-place team will earn 300 million naira, subject to official confirmation by league authorities. Diko described the new prize structure as part of broader efforts to improve the commercial value, professionalism and competitiveness of the domestic league. Enugu Rangers won the 2025-2026 session for the NPFL, and the dates for the commencement of the next campaign is yet to be announced. The FIFA World Cup 2026 group stage is reaching a dramatic climax, with several teams already securing places as the race for the knockout stage continues. Now a bit of some entertainment news. The Actors Guild of Nigeria says it is committed to exposing Nigerian actors to global best practices as part of efforts to enhance professionalism and strengthen the country's film industry. Veteran actor Steve Ebo, who briefed journalists in Enugu on behalf of the president of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, said Nigerian actors will participate in the 2026 edition of the Actors Marketplace, TAMP. Ebo, who is also the festival director, said the annual International Actors Marketplace initiative is designed to promote Nigerian actors and further enhance the visibility of the Nollywood industry in the global stage. Ebo disclosed that the 2026 edition of the Actors Marketplace will be hosted in Canada this August. It's a global gathering that would showcase the achievements, talents, and contributions of members of the Actors Guild of Nigeria to an international audience.
At the National Black Film Festival, The landmark initiative presents another significant milestone in the ongoing effort to expand the global footprint of Nigerian actors and position Hollywood talent within the international film ecosystem. It also reflects the progressive vision of the current leadership of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, AGN, whose commitment to creating international opportunity, strategic partnership, and sustainable growth pathways for members continue to bear remarkable results.
The National Vice President of the Actors Guild of Nigeria, Clement Anibu, encouraged eligible actors, particularly sponsored participants, to take advantage of the opportunity. He noted that the international event would provide valuable exposure, networking opportunities, and professional development for participants.
The actors in Nigeria will be traveling to Canada for this year's edition. And they are calling the government to try and partner with the Actors Guild of Nigeria, especially in the area of sponsorship. Sponsor members of your state who are into the film industry to go and witness what the film festival is all about. No knowledge is a waste.
The event is expected to attract filmmakers, actors, producers, industry stakeholders, and film enthusiasts from across the world, further strengthening the global presence of Nollywood and Nigeria's creative industry. Veteran singer and media personality Charlie Boy has offered a candid reflection on the realities of long-term marriage, admitting that nearly 5 decades with the same partner can sometimes become repetitive and boring. Speaking during an interview, Charlie Boy, who has been married for 48 years, said sustaining any marriage requires deliberate effort, patience, and proper management. He revealed that he and his wife have made conscious decision to keep their marital disagreements private, insisting that involving outsiders often does little to resolve conflicts. Reflecting on the realities of staying with one partner for decades, the entertainer, who is referred to as Area Father, admitted that familiarity can sometimes strip relationships of excitement. Charlie Boy, however, cautioned against infidelity, stressing that cheating erodes trust and can destabilize relationships, but he said he supports the idea of outsourcing. Burna Boy has set a new continental record, becoming the African artist with the highest number of entries on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart, after securing his 9th appearance on the ranking. The Nigerian Afrofusion star, born Damini Ogulu, now leads fellow Nigerian Thames, who previously shared the record with him on 8 entries. His latest milestone comes through the song Die Die, the official track of the ongoing FIFA World Cup, which he recorded alongside Colombian pop superstar Shakira. The song debuted at number 75 on this week's Billboard Hot 100 chart, pushing Burna Boy into sole possession of the record. The collaboration was initiated after Shakira expressed a strong desire to work with the Nigerian artist. The achievement adds to Burna Boy's growing list of Billboard Hot 100 appearances and cements his historic run as the first African artist to chart at least one song on the Hot 100 for 6 consecutive years, spanning 2021 to 2026. The milestone further reinforces Burna Boy's position as one of Africa's most globally influential music exports, with sustained crossover success across multiple years. That's a wrap on Global News. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha. Thanks for watching.